Hello. Hi, my name is Tanika. I'm a little congested. I just watched the full video of Sarah Boone's last court hearing because I saw a piece of it last week, but they just released the full thing. I have opinions. So let's without further ado get into it. I have added the captions because Sarah is kind of low in the beginning. If you guys haven't heard of this case, it is the suitcase murder case. And she has been, this is her 8th lawyer and she's having a problem. Surprise, surprise. I have I have an infant here with me who just learned how to hop up on the couch. He's walking and hopping on the couch. So we're gonna have to work around it. He also likes to pull my hair, which is why I've tried to pull it up. But let's get into this, shall we? Okay, so who do you think she's smirking at when she's looking at that? Because she's upset with the lawyer, but I can't think, or maybe it's the press that she's looking, but she keeps doing that, and she's pursing her lips. Our body expert analyst would say she's holding something back, which I can hardly imagine Sarah ever holding anything back. I think she's on the edge of her seat, waiting to say. She's like not willingly holding back, but she's trying to restrain herself. But the smirk is creepy. But anyway, I would just, who do you think? Let me know in the comments. She's regulating her breathing, loosening up her jaw. They're calling the case.
Dave Castro on behalf of the state.
We set this matter this morning for a status hearing. Ms. Boone, good morning. Counselors, good morning. What is the status for where we find ourselves currently, Ms. Cashman?
I think that Ms. Boone wants to speak to you about that. Mr. Cacciatore and I have had email correspondence and
Okay, I am a true crime addict. How many times, because the answer for me is 0, have you seen the lawyer defer to the client about providing the judge updates? It's already very strange. Like, Sarah's a weird ducky. Odd duck. Okay.
a phone conference this week, and we believe that it can be ready to be set for a trial date late August, early September. I've got a trial certain murder in front of Judge Harris that's going to be a minimum of a week starting August 5th. I am out of state starting September 14th, I believe, for a week. And at this point, those are the calendar issues that I have other cases set, but I'm, as you know, Judge, waiting on pretrial and waiting to see what really goes and what doesn't. Obviously I have other things on trial dockets through July, August, and September, but those are the for sure's.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Mr. Cacciatore, anything from your side of the ledger, sir?
No.
Okay, Mr. Cacciatore. Is it Cacciatore like the food? He's talking, but I must say, what toner is this woman using? Because I have ordered some purple something for my hair to get it to tone down, but hers, it's all golden. Oh my goodness. Sir, do you have an opinion about her hair? Would you like to pull her hair? Oh, yeah, okay.
Okay. All right. Madam Clerk, if you could swear in Ms. Boone, please.
They'll get the audio situated eventually, like in a minute or two. She's not mic'd. Sarah's not mic'd. And for some
Ma'am,
reason.
good morning. Your lawyer advised that there was something that you wanted to bring to my attention. You've listened to everything in open court. You've been here. You've listened to everything that's been presented so far as to the discussions that Ms. Cashman has had with Mr. Cacciatore and readiness for trial and her dates of availability and unavailability. That's what's been presented to me this morning. You've heard the same thing.
So basically, she was complaining. Like I said, at first they didn't have her mic, so you couldn't hear her. You see, even the closed captions weren't picking her up. But she's basically complaining. She's in the dark. Something is, she's doing Sarah stuff. It's giving Karen to me. She's like very much Karen, and I think she thinks the judge is the manager of her attorney. But let's get into it. Let's keep watching. You'll see.
Thing that I've heard.
I have never experienced anyone like Ms. Cashman, and I have repeatedly, the reason why I'm here is the whole hope thing, where she will change her disposition and her attitude towards me, and it doesn't matter how dumbed down I am to myself to try to coexist with her. I've even come up with a solution to have a pretend judge in the interactions with her, so she would try, hopefully, to treat me appropriately and professionally, but she does not do. One of my meetings, I got up and I walked out on her. The last time that I spoke to her was on a video visit that she tried to have in front of a 64 open day bunk form. Where I repeatedly kept asking her, please schedule a face-to-face. The last time we spoke was on May 3rd, where I got him and I
Okay, listen. Let me make myself bigger. Can you imagine with Miss Sarah telling you we need a face-to-face? I don't know what she means. I'm assuming everybody else could see her attorney in this, did she say 64 seat bunk? And that doesn't make sense to me. Like, does she not have headsets? Is that not available? But she's like, please come. And then so what do you think when she's saying she's not treating me appropriately, like in Sarah's mind? Because, ma'am, she's already done more for you than all your other attorneys, because she's been down there multiple times and in person to talk to you and video visits. You couldn't even get those other jokers to pick up the phone. Like, please tell us what you want, right? Oh my goodness.
so much so that I have to pretend judge in order for her to treat me somewhat appropriately. And I feel that she is untruthful with me and full-blown prejudice against me, which I believe adds to her nasty attitude towards me. And I do not trust her. So I have prepared this for you. It's a letter and then
Based on what? Oh my goodness, this one pulling my hair. Based on what she does not trust her. Like, that is bold to say, and the attorney is right there. And have you said this to your attorney? Have you tried to work it out? What do you think the judge is going to do? Put you guys in a timeout or put you in a, like, where are you coming from, ma'am? Where are you coming from? And you pretended to be the judge. She's the entitlement. It's the entitlement for me. And you see how she's patiently like, oh, and I had to dumb myself down for the criminal defense attorney with decades of experience and a law degree. Okay, Sarah. Okay.
completion of the letter from the video visit, so you are aware of, and everyone constantly blames me that I am the reason why I am supposedly on attorney number 8, which I am not the reason for any of this. I put this.
Okay, this is just a particular thing because her grammar drives me crazy. First of all, you are not supposedly on your 8th attorney. You are on your 8th attorney. And you also are the reason. Who else do you think is requiring a new attorney for you? Because if it was one or two, I might say, okay, they were, everybody's not for everybody, but you're on number 8, ma'am, and you're looking for number 9, it sounds like. So who would you like to assign that to? Do you know what I'm saying? That's why you're in your situation now, is because you think that everybody is going to cater to you, which is what you were trying to do when you went down there and did that police interview. And we're trying to convince them how great you were in saving George before you eventually murdered him.
In here also, so you are aware, again, I refuse to be misled by her. I'm shocked that she has a proposed trial date, considering the fact that I have not seen anything. I keep asking her for just a download of my phone or my medical records or for anything that I've asked pretty much all of the other attorneys as well. All of my questions that I keep asking her are in a letter to you.
She's shocked. The judge just asked her for a trial date. So clearly that is the way it's supposed to be going. I don't know. You seem to be the only one shocked that it's moving to trial, sir, because both the defense and prosecution are ready to go, girl. And I think the judge is ready to go too. I don't blame him. I would want you out of my hair.
I didn't know if you would be the one to help me answer them or to spur her to finally answer them to me and hopefully truthfully. I don't know. As I said to you before in the past, you said that you are not able to intervene regarding my letter. I still want you to be aware of what it is that I am going through still. And it's a matter of ethics and professionalism with how she should be treating me, and I shouldn't have to come up with a pretend judge in order for her to do so. And also some other things that I've been working on in the meantime that I would like everyone else to be made aware of. That I don't just sit and eat bonbons and watch soap operas all day. I fully apply myself at all times.
Okay. Where's the letter? Okay.
I believe it's 58 pages.
Ms. Cashman?
Judge, I've obviously not seen the letter. Ms. Boone is correct. She has walked out of the last two visits when I've tried to review things with her. Just so the court knows, I've spent probably 20 hours, a little bit more, a little bit less, with Ms. Boone. She has lots of lists, lots of questions. In reviewing the court file, she was distressed previously about having access to her lawyers. I have taken collect phone calls from her that are at my expense. JAC doesn't reimburse you because I think it's important for clients to have access. I have
Hang on,
spent,
please. No one's interrupted you this morning, Ms. Boone.
Yeah, pipe down, Boone.
as I
Pipe
said,
down.
I've spent over 20 hours going through her questions, going through her list. When I tried to update her with regard to the depositions that I took recently, she opted to exit the jail conference. When I tried to review some things with regard to
You gotta be a special kind of something when your main complaint was lack of communication with your prior lawyers, although most of the lawyers, I believe, said they had irreconcilable differences. However, this woman is coming in person, not video, and you're walking out. Girl, I wouldn't come back to see you. Go on. Listen.
things I wanted to make sure she was aware of, she walked out. She has asked me repeatedly for a copy of some medical records. Based on the discovery I got from the previous attorneys, one of the copies of those medical records had her handwritten notes. So she had a copy given to her previously. She reviewed them with previous attorneys. I sent her a new copy. Some of the things that
If I didn't know better, I would think that Sarah Boone was a sovereign citizen. She repeats herself a lot. Now, you already had these medical records as evidenced by your notes. What is the passive aggressive communication that you're trying to have with your lawyer? Like, just say it plainly, ma'am. Say it plainly.
she thinks are important from a lawyer perspective, perhaps I don't attach the same importance to, and you try to explain that to a client.
So I don't know what this baby is doing, but wait, when she said, did you go to law school? He just sees himself on the screen. Your perspective, that is code for whatever she's talking about ain't important to me. I'm trying to get through the case, and she needs a therapist. That's what I take that. This woman is very diplomatic, though, obviously.
You know, I know the court's in a difficult position, but at this point, we're at that impasse of, if she walks out of every conference that I have with her, I'm not sure what that says about the attorney-client relationship.
Ma'am, you said there was something else that you had other than a 58-page submittal or letter. What other information is it that you're seeking to have me take a look at?
It's things that I've been working on in the meantime. It's things that she likes to tell me is not necessary, but I know for a fact it is necessary. She likes to, in quotes, put things to rest all the time and constantly tells me I'm not having this conversation with you.
Oh my God, I hope I wasn't on mute for that last one. But so 58 pages of things her lawyer hasn't addressed. Like, again, does she think the judge is the manager? Like, ma'am, you got to work that out, or you got to hire your own attorney. Sir, where are you going? Okay. Can you please go play with Justice? Okay. Where's Justice? Go get Justice. Justice. He's not I guess technically a judge is a referee, right? But not between you and your lawyer. Like, he's supposed to be impartial. But basically you're asking him to take sides. And FYI, the lawyer doesn't work for the court. Like, this whole thing is very weird. I think she thinks he's the manager.
I, being in jail, have supposedly abundant amounts of, she's not going to waste my time because she's not going to explain something to me. And I have taken it upon myself to explain it to myself because she refuses to do so. I don't understand.
I would love to hear that conversation where Sarah is explaining it to herself, because when is she going to get to the part about explaining to herself, girl, you ain't going home. Not ever, ever.
What it is that she has against me. I have told her from day one that her snotty attitude was inappropriate, and I try very hard to bear with her and her attitude. I don't know what it is that I'm doing wrong to her, but I feel that her attitude has equal prejudice,
Who
which
the F does Sarah think she is? What grown woman would tell another grown woman in a business relationship that your attitude is snotty, but yet the person saying that is the one childishly exiting meetings? Okay, I'm back. He has a bottle. Let's see if we can finish this. It's either him or the dogs. Okay, what else was Sarah got to say?
is not in my favor, especially considering she's supposedly representing my life.
Okay. Give me an example of, if you could, of items that you believe are important that Ms. Cashman is not giving attention to or dismissing as you may have framed it.
Yes, Your Honor. She likes to tell me that I don't like her answers. She's not giving me any answers to this life, and I have written 3 pages worth of questions, and I'm still waiting for her and any other attorney to actually answer for me, such as, why can't I have a bond? Why can't I have a download of my phone? Why can't I speak to my investigator? Why can't I have my medical records? Why can't I fully utilize?
Woo! Okay, first of all, why does she need a download of her own phone? If that is not in evidence, if that's not in discovery for the prosecution, how is that going to help your defense? Are you thinking the images are going to help? what specifically are you looking for in there? You're going to show pictures of when George allegedly beat you up. So your approach is to attack the dead person, malign his name for his children and his family. That's why you put him in the suitcase. Okay. And then her own medical records, she needs them because, like, I understand how it could help her defense, but if her defense lawyer is saying that's not the strategy we're going with, that's not important, like, is that a reason to call up? Okay.
My constitutional rights. There's 3 pages worth of questions that I have.
What constitutional rights specifically?
I'm very leery about having a fair trial at this point. There can't be other amendments that I have been researching and working on and trying to incorporate. To me, what I have written to you is obvious, and apparently from the correspondence that I get from the world, South Korea was the last place I received correspondence. They obviously see the same thing. So
Wait. Let me get this right. So people in South Korea are experts on American law, on the American Constitution? Is that what we're saying? People around the world versus your attorney. And I don't believe they give out bond on murder charges in Florida. I could be wrong. I'm a junkie, but listen, I'm not a lawyer. This is in my opinion, but I don't think that they do. If you guys can cite a case that has, let me know.
Wrong, other than wanting to have a very successful outcome. It's just been long and drawn out, and I believe that God obviously will continue as much as I do him in order to.
Hey guys, Toby Mathis here, and question I get all the time is, how do I make my personal assets in?
Okay, so for the record, it is long and drawn out because of Sarah. I think we can all agree on that. It is long and drawn out. That is not this attorney's fault. This attorney has been busy. When did she come on the case? Was it early this year or late last year? I feel like February of this year. And she's ready to go to trial in August. She's met with you multiple times. As you'll hear in a second, she spent over 20 hours with you. So it being long and drawn out is not her fault, that attorney's fault. And see how Sarah contradicts herself. On the one hand, she's like, oh, I can't believe we're ready to go to trial in August. Like, that's too fast. And you've been arrested since February of 2020. And then on the other hand, it's been long and drawn out. Pick a side, look alive.
Searching and working on and trying to incorporate. To me, what I have written to you is obvious, and apparently from the correspondence that I get from the world, South Korea was the last place I received correspondence. They obviously see the same thing. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong other than wanting to have a very successful outcome. It's just been long and drawn out, and I believe that God obviously will continue as much as I do him in order to give me this very unique adventure that I am on, and I'm doing my best to.
Don't put God in this. God didn't put you on this adventure. That was that cheap wine you had that put you on this adventure. I'm so just confused by her, though. South Korea aside, it just, let's go back one more, because I'm like, what is she talking about? In the 58 pages, it's obvious. If it's that obvious, it shouldn't take 58 pages, ma'am.
Why can't I speak to my investigator? Why can't I have my medical records? Why can't I fully utilize my constitutional rights? There's 3 pages worth of questions that I have.
What constitutional rights specifically?
I'm very leery about having a fair trial at this point. There can't be other amendments that I have been researching.
How is the attorney impacting her fair trial? What specifically? Her ability.
And apparently from the correspondence that I get from the world, South Korea was the last place I received correspondence. They obviously see the same thing. So I don't know what I'm doing wrong other than wanting to have a very successful.
You're talking in circles. That's what you're doing wrong. So it's obvious, so obvious that it took 58 pages. It's so obvious that the people from South Korea, whose primary language is probably not English, also agree with whatever you wrote. If you can't get that down in 2 or 3 sentences, ma'am, it's not obvious. Like, no, that's not a thing, right? I know. Hi.
Outcome is just been long out and adventure. I'm doing it to let everyone know who I really am as opposed to the malicious murderer that everyone thinks that I am. I don't feel that she can do that properly. I still always, the reason why I'm here is to hope that she will come in with a gentle, softer side and actually listen to what it is that I'm saying and see the bigger picture other than what the one avenue that she keeps going down. There's other ways to win and more than one way. I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do, but I'm not saying that I'm trying to remove her. I'm just trying to ask you, please, forgive me for having to ask you for this. If you could please let her know, please, to just be nice to me and have a welcoming attitude and things will probably change and I will not get up and I walk out.
Oh, wait. Who is going to go into a jail to visit somebody with a welcoming attitude? And she needs to be nice to you. You want the judge to tell her to be nice to you. You can't say that with your own words to her. Is that what's in the 58 pages? Oh my God, please hurry up and make these pages public.
Please don't lie to me. Please don't give me half truths. And
What instances where there's been falsities or lies that have been told to you by Ms. Cashman? Can you give me an example?
my biggest one, Your Honor, is for me being here ongoing 5 years, no one has ever bothered to try to get me a bond.
What's the lie? You said that she has lied to you. What is the lie?
The process of getting a bond. She lied to my brother in regards to telling him that he would need to come down to the courthouse to have multiple photographs taken for documentation. He would have to bring the security information, deeds to his house, financial statements, so on and so forth. And the icing on the cake was to be aware of all of the news camera crews and everyone that's going to be there in order to document him being there to do what he's going to for the bond. What is a bondsman for? She's supposed to just do the motion for the bond, and then from there, the bondsman and I, and whomever else, are to work it out.
So what part of that is?
Ma'am, well, first of all, yeah, what he's about to say, what part of that is a lie? But he does need to be aware of all those things. There are going to be cameras down there. There's been cameras every time you're in because, girl, you give us life. Yeah. What part of that? And then she was like, what is a bondsman for? A bondsman, you still have to put up collateral. You're going to have to put up some property if you're even eligible for a bond. But let's just say, for the sake of this discussion, you are, ma'am. Yeah, the bondsman doesn't set the amount. The bondsman just does the transaction after the motion has been filed and approved. She's trying to get your ducks lined up so that it will be approved. Like, even if he's not putting up the bond, where are you going to stay? I'm assuming you're not going to be able to stay with Lucas. Right. And your ex-husband. So you're going to have to stay with your brother. So, yeah, they need to make sure he's okay. They're not going to, I'm not saying that your brother, but they're not going to release you like to some meth head in a trailer park. He needs to be someone stable because they want to show that you have strong ties to the community.
Is a lie.
I just simply wanted to have her do a motion for a bond hearing.
But the statement that you said is that Ms. Cashman, who's an officer of the court, has lied.
What is a bondsman for? She's supposed to just do the motion for the bond, and then from there, the bondsman and I, and whomever else, are to work it out.
So what part of that is a lie?
I just we wanted to have her do a motion for a bond hearing.
But the statement that you said is that Ms. Cashman, who's an officer of the court, has lied to you. What you've provided me so far is not evidence of any lies based on the severity of the.
Also, this woman does not have an accountable bone in her body. It's always somebody else's fault. Oh, because she didn't explain it to me, so I didn't understand that I couldn't. Well, she's doing the process to get you the bond. Now, if your brother is spooked by that, by the truth, it's a good thing she told him now, because it could have been much worse had she not set his expectations and then all of these things happened and he was negatively impacted without being informed properly of the risk.
Of why she won't do or why she has said certain things, and all this changes and it mutates after I ask her for certain things, not just for the bond. But
What's
for
the lie, Sarah? What's the
Okay,
lie?
well, let's focus on the bond issue, because you said that she's lied to you, and what you've told me so far, none of that is inaccurate.
So how is it though, because I don't have any experience prior to this, I don't know the process of getting a bond other than what I have read, and it's just.
Well, it's a good thing. Well, it's a good thing you don't have any experience prior to this, being in prison for murder and not able to get a bond. Thanks for sharing.
Process of getting a bond other than what I have read, and it's just for her to do a bond, a motion for a bond hearing. But I didn't know that anyone, all of the other inmates, said that they've had to do that process in order to have photographs taken and documented and use crews and visits to his house. He's not posting my bond, which I told her 1,000,001 times, but she still spooked him by asking by him something that he's going to have to, and it would threaten his security.
Woo. And why do I feel like she really did tell her 1,000,001 times about this? But I love that she said none of the other inmates or the jail staff or the bailiffs or whatever. She said the bailiffs know about bond. They've been through the process. Like, ma'am, she listen to the words that are coming out of your own mouth.
Security clearance considering he's in the service, military. So she totally deterred me from having my brother's address in order for me to have a motion for a bond.
Yeah, because he don't want a felon, accused felon in his house.
With however sky high my limit would be for my bond to receive. I know for a fact, unless my fans would set up GoFundMe pages or God's will or however else it is.
Her fans
to have it paid, if at all,
will set up
my point is
a GoFundMe.
my right to have a bond. And with the information that I have included in here to you, for the amount of saturation of publicity, there's nowhere that I can even if I were to be an quote flight risk because of the amount of information that everybody already knows about me, what I look like, and what I eat apparently, and so many other things.
I don't believe it's a constitutional right to have a bond. There are many people who are in without bond. So who is this jailhouse lawyer? Is she paying this person? Is it the bailiff? Is it Bertha? I'm sus. They're sus.
Where would I go if I were to even think about being a flight risk? It's just the fact that I would like police to have a bond so I can say that I actually achieved something while I was incarcerated.
That's an achievement?
I think there's so many other questions that I have to ask.
Which are outlined in your submittals there, right? Okay, all right. Ms. Cashman, briefly.
Judge, there's clearly a conflict with what I'm going to tell you are false allegations Ms. Boone is making about me, and my continued representation of her. As I
Speak
said,
up for yourself, ma'am.
I've spent 20 hours with this client going over her questions and her issues in detail. With regard to the brother and the bond hearing, yes, I contacted the brother. I explained to her brother and I explained to her. You can't just write a bond motion and the judge grants it because of the allegations. You have to come forward with proof. I asked her brother if he was willing to come to court and testify. He raised the issue to me about his security clearance and would the media be there. What I said was, the media's been in the courtroom for all the hearings, and it's likely that they would be there for the bond hearing, and that your face could be on the television, and it was a concern for him. And I'm gonna just leave it at that. But Judge,
Her
I can't
brother
spend
didn't want to
all
be
my
involved.
time defending what I'm doing and at the same time be effectively preparing a case for trial. In these situations, I know it puts the court in a very difficult position. As I see it, Ms. Boone has a couple options. Number one, she can ask you to represent herself. She has the right to. You have a Feretta hearing and determine whether she's capable. The court then has to address the issue of whether it's appropriate to appoint standby counsel. Obviously, since she believes not a word that I say.
I love this part of it because like I know, the judge already knows all of this. She's saying this for Sarah's benefit. The judge knows how it works for her to be her own counsel, knows what a Feretta hearing is and all that. So she's saying it for Ms. Boone's sake. And I love that she's also saying, I know this puts you in an awkward place. The thing is, Sarah does not have enough self-awareness to pick up on this. She ain't picking up what you putting down, ma'am. She doesn't have enough self-awareness and she lacks accountability. So this is going right over her head. Right now, what Sarah is doing is rummaging over in her head over and over again, whatever her thoughts are about how you don't like her. Which, what does that got to do with the price of tea in China?
For 40 years doing criminal defense, I'm probably not the right lawyer for that. The other thing is she gets one last lawyer, it either works or it doesn't. And sometimes, unfortunately, the court gets put in a position that you have to have that conversation with a client that you don't, if you want your counsel of choice, then you need to hire your counsel of choice, and everyone can certainly do that. And if you're indigent, the court can only go through this so many times with Ms. Boone coming to the court, and there ending up being irreconcilable differences, such that the counsel that you have appointed can't move forward and provide effective assistance to counsel.
Okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm inclined to go ahead and figure out where we can set this thing for trial and then kind of work backwards from there. I'm not dismissing your concerns, Ms. Boone.
But I'm keeping
going
it
to
moving.
take what it is that you've given to me. I'm going to circulate that to both Mr. Cacciatore and Ms. Cashman. I will review it, and I will schedule a hearing to address any of the issues in your
Right.
submittals
No
if one is
ex parte
necessary.
submissions
Okay.
going forward, ma'am.
right.
Everybody's on the same page.
Ms. Cashman, you had advised some of your unavailability for vacations that you have previously scheduled and or other time certain trials that you have in front of Judge Harris.
And on June 21st, I have a trial case management with Judge Marquez on a case that's likely at this point, and obviously we'll find out the final date at case management, likely to be set July 27th. No, I think it's based on when she has post-convictions.
If you're over 50, you don't want to use traditional makeup. As we age, our skin tends to lose moisture and we all get lines. Traditional makeup make us
And I have a trial certain with Judge Harris, August 5th.
So the options that I see it are, we could specially set this for the week of August 26th, or we set it for the trial period beginning September 30. The hiccup with that first week of September 30 is we have a court holiday on Thursday, October the 3rd.
I think October 7th is fine.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna specially set this matter for the second week of the September 30 trial period, beginning Monday, October 7th. We will set this matter for trial case management on the 24th of September, right? On September 24 at 9 a.m. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. We'll do you at 1:30 in the afternoon.
It's Tuesday, September 24th.
Tuesday, September 24 at
Okay,
1:30 in the
let's skip to
afternoon
the
for a
part
trial
where
case
Miss
management.
Sarah has her
Trial
last
date
piece
certain,
in.
different envelopes, ma'am. Okay. I will review that, and after the review, the court will either issue an order or set this matter for trial case management
Sorry, guys.
on the 24th of September, right? On September 24 at 9 a.m. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. We'll do you at 1:30 in the afternoon.
It's Tuesday, September 24th.
Tuesday, September 24 at 1:30 in the afternoon for a trial case management. Trial date certain on October the 7th. Deputy, if you could please grab the 2 packages of submittals from Ms. Boone. Oh, I thought it was 2 different envelopes, ma'am. Okay. I will review that, and after the review, the court will either issue an order or set this matter for hearing based on what it is that's been presented by Ms. Boone. Mr. Cacciatore, anything else we need to address this morning, sir? Ms. Cashman, anything else we need to address?
Not that I'm aware of at this time, Judge.
Ms. Boone, is there anything else you need to bring to my attention at this time?
Thoroughly what it is that I'm asking for from my attorney who's supposed to be representing me for the trial that's supposedly happening in October, late September. So if you could please, I don't understand how I'm supposed to be able to go into a trial when I don't have what it is to properly defend myself.
Ma'am, I've asked for your submittals. I will be reviewing them. All right, thank you. All right, y'all, thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thanks, Judge.
And is Ms. Walker still here? Okay. Ms. Walker, good morning.
She did that smile again, which it must be for the media at this point, right? So basically the judge was like, girl, we gonna get this show in a row. I think, I don't know. She didn't get the answer that she wanted, which is why she wanted to reiterate, thoroughly read my 58 pages. You don't want anybody to thoroughly read it. If it was, a paragraph and a half, people would maybe thoroughly. At work, I get annoyed when people send me emails with 2 paragraphs. If it's that long, please pick up the phone and talk to me. And she was right there in person. You know what I mean? So, oh, good Lord. She's writing them out by hand too, y'all. But yeah, so technically, she should not be submitting them directly to the judge. But I think because there's so much fame around this or notoriety, anything that goes to the judge should go to the prosecution, and obviously she's the defense, so her lawyer should see it. It actually should come from her lawyer, but that's a whole other thing. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. Have you seen this already in full? Because baby, I'll put the link down if you with me and the baby and my opinions were too much and you want to just get the clean version. It'll be in the description box. All right, talk to you guys later. Bye.